Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I hope you all can hear me properly. Good morning, everybody. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone could hear me properly. Is it so? Could hear me properly. Is it so? Please join the class fast. I will wait. Let everyone join the class. Okay. Is everyone here? Is everyone here? Fast on the chat box. Only two. Okay. So today we have a little bit of portions to complete. So without wasting our precious time, I'm starting the class. So all of you don't forget to click the like button before you enter the class. Can any one of you tell me how many of you check our channel analytics every time? How many subscribers are there and everything? Okay. Can you tell me how many subscribers are there for BioPoint now? Which Yes, tell me how many subscribers are there for BioPoints along with NEET seniors and juniors. Yes, 177. So I'm planning to cross 177 now itself. So I'm planning to cross 200. Yesterday also I told you we are planning to cross 200 in the upcoming days. And today I'm planning to get it to a target of 180. So that within 2 days we would cross 200. I think it's my success. It's our team success. It's our team's BioPoint success that within 2 months we have crossed a reach of 200 with almost everyone attending the class. So super excited for today's class on the chapter how do organisms reproduce, everyone, on the chat box. On the chat box fast. Okay, so today also we will be discussing about the different guidelines or different aspects regarding the chapter human reproduction. How many of you have studied yesterday's topic? How many of you have studied yesterday's topic? How many of you have studied yesterday's topic? Fast on the chat box. Okay. So before beginning, we are going to have a quiz session. That is not a Mente quiz or something like that. I will be asking a quick recap on yesterday's topic. Ready? For the recapitulation of yesterday's topics, everyone. Ready, everybody? Why the chat box is remaining silent? Have the Josh in the class. Okay, Kirti. We are starting. So, tell me the hereditary unit of life. Tell me the hereditary unit of life. Yes. Yes, exactly. It is gene. Genes are referred to as the hereditary unit of life, and DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, can be referred to as the genetic material or hereditary material. Guys, can you see my annotations on the screen? Because I just forgot to take the epic pen today. Can anyone have problem in the annotations on the screen, or is it clear like every time? Is it clear everything that I have written? Material, unit, genes. My writings on the screen, is it clear or not? That's all. My question. Okay. So genes are referred to as the hereditary unit and DNA is referred to as the hereditary material. What is the main aim? What is the main purpose of reproduction? What is the main purpose of reproduction? Anybody fast on the chat box? Purpose of reproduction, fast on the chat box. Purpose of reproduction. Tell me fast on the chat box the purpose of reproduction. Yes, let me check who tells it. Yes, to continue the species, to ensure the continuity of life on earth, or to ensure the continuity of the apt sentences, to ensure the continuity of species, to ensure the continuity of species on earth, we have a reproduction. So there is certain steps that is for reproduction. You have replication of DNA, which causes variation. What do you mean by variation? Variations can be described as the slight differences between the offsprings and the parent. Okay, is it? So heredity means the transmission of character. Transmission of character from the parents to offspring is referred to as heredity, right? And variation is a small amount of difference. Exactly, Arjun. So this slide is clear, I suppose. We are moving with the next one. There are two types of reproduction. We have two modes of reproduction, that is asexual reproduction, and the second one is the sexual reproduction. I told about the chart also in the last class. Am I right? Do anybody wants me to explain the points once again? If anybody needs, I'll try to explain once again, or else we can move forward. At least one person needs it. Okay. Once again, a quick recap on everything. Asexual reproduction, a single parent or a single individual is involved. That is, gametes are not formed. New individuals is identical to the parents. Since the new individual, this is a new point, since the new individuals are identical to the parents, that is, they are morphologically identical and genetically identical. Morphological means the external characters are similar to that of parents. They are morphologically and genetically similar to their parents, right? They are referred to as, so the products of asexual reproduction, the product of asexual reproduction, you call it as clones. Okay, clones, clones. Take down this, everyone. Tell me, repeat the word on the chat box. What is the name that is given? What is the name that is given to the offspring formed as a result of asexual reproduction? Repeat with me again on the chat box. What is the term? Yes, it is clone. So clone, we call the offspring of asexual reproduction as clone. It is extremely a rapid multiplication technique that is time consuming is less. Then it is adopted mostly by lower organism. It is mostly adopted by the lower organism. Next is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means two individuals are required. That is one male and one female. What is the symbol to denote male? This is a symbol to denote male, and this is a symbol to denote female. Okay, male and female give rise to new individuals. The gametes are also formed. The gametes are also formed. The new individual is genetically similar, but they are not morphologically identical to their parents. Okay, it is adopted. It give rise to more variation, and it is adopted by higher organisms such as, for example, human beings. Humans and all adapt sexual mode of reproduction. For example, you can call it as to be the mammals. The mammals show sexual mode of reproduction. Clear, everyone? Oh. Kirti, how did you go? You type the symbols of male and female also on the chat box. Good. Everybody press the like icon, the like button, everyone. Okay. So moving with the next one. We discussed about this. Guys, tell me about the different type of asexual reproduction. Different modes of asexual reproduction. Different types of asexual reproduction. Fast on the chat box. Yes. Binary fission. Yes, Kriti. Yes, Monster Gaming. Yes, Harishankar. Yes, good. So binary fission, multiple fission, fragmentation, then spore formation, budding, all these are examples of asexual reproduction. We studied about this in the last class. Have you all noted down this particular point? That multiple fission is shown by plasmodium, which is a protozoan, that causes a disease called malaria. That causes a disease known as malaria. Have you everyone, guys, comment me the name on the chat box, those who are in the class, because I wanted to know. Dar Wajid, tell me your original Telegram ID now. Monster Gaming, tell me your original ID. Mystery Gaming, Monster Gaming, all these persons, please tell me your Telegram ID now. Yes, Arjun is there. Kirti is there. Abhijit is there. Yes, you are Patel. Okay, leave it. Mystery Gaming, your Telegram account's name. Yeah, Pallav. Okay, Lord Faizu. Abhijit is there. Mystery Gaming. Vanshika is there. Anushka Srivastava is there. Yes. Okay, let's continue. Have you all noted down this point about the protozoa? Yes, somebody was asking me the difference between heredity and variation. Yes, Pallav, I'll explain. Okay, look on the screen. You may see heredity means the transmission of characters. We have certain character. For example, I'll explain it with the help of human traits, that is skin color, hair pattern, hair pattern, all these things are different traits that you are acquiring from your parents to the offspring, right? Yes, they are almost opposite, exactly. Is it? Heredity means it is a transmission of character, or simply we can tell that heredity means a similarity between a parent and an offspring. Yes, clear, similarity. similarity, and variation refers to the difference between the parents and the offspring. Guys, is my screen visible? Yes, I hope so. Okay. Clear everyone? Pallav, clear? Okay, thank you. So yesterday we discussed about fragmentation, then regeneration in planaria, budding also. Name two organisms that shows budding. Name two organisms that shows budding. Name two organisms that shows budding fast on the chat box. Any two organism that shows budding. Yes, Hydra is one organism. Planaria does not show budding, dear children. Yes, Kriti, right. Hydra and yeast shows budding. Take down Hydra and yeast shows budding. Guys, this is a 5 marks question for your board exam. Take down, it is a frequently asked 5 marks question for your board exam. Okay, everyone clear? Patel, Lord Faizu, Abhijit, everyone clear with the idea? Pallav, is it clear everything? So the different modes of asexual reproduction, the different modes of asexual reproduction is a frequently asked 5 marks question for your exam. It's a frequently asked 5 marks question for your exam. So those who can draw the diagrams, it may be very perfect. They won't even deduct at least 1 mark for that. Not for everything you have to draw the diagram. They will be, for the last exam you have the diagram for amoeba, right? So you have to write this particular sentence about binary fission and you may draw the diagram of amoeba. Then no need of these plasmodium structures because these are not in detail for your syllabus. Next, you may draw about fragmentation. Simply, you can draw certain fragments in order to explain or to clarify what point you try to convey. Then regeneration also you can draw. These regeneration and all was asked for 2 marks question, most probably I think in 2012 or something. 2012 or something, CBSE board. The planaria, with the help of diagram, it was a 2 marks question. With the help of diagram shows the capacity of regeneration in planaria. That was a question. Next, this diagram is a frequently asked, okay? Frequently asked question. Frequently asked question for CBSE board. So I am giving you a guarantee that most probably this would be a question for your batch also 2021 to explain budding with the help of a neat labeled diagram. Neat label diagram, frequently asked question. So hope this may be asked for you. Simply writing this sentence and drawing this symbol diagram may yield you 3 marks. Okay, yesterday we discussed about vegetative propagation also. I will try to share the images of all these plants in real because some of them are there in my locality itself. So I will try to share the images of this and good images where you can see. Okay, if you see the image and study, it will be easily identify. You can easily identify. Guys, remember that dahlia, the flower dahlia and sweet potato are roots. They are roots. Another one is a potato and ginger. They are stems. Okay, they are not roots. They are stem. Even though we are cultivating it under the soil, they are stems. They are not roots because there are certain properties, presence of nodes, internodes, etc. Presence of nodes, internodes, all these things are also there along with stem. That's why we consider potato and ginger as stems. Then by leaf, you can see bryophyllum. Yesterday when I asked, some of you have told me that you have seen bryophyllum in real, right? Okay, I'm moving with. If you have any doubt, please comment me in the chat section. Okay, can we move? So yesterday we were discussing about this particular session, I think, right? So the portion is grafting. These are the artificial methods of vegetative reproduction: grafting, cutting, layering, tissue culture, etc. Okay, so grafting is seen in case of mango tree, grafted trees. Grafted trees is an example. Mango is an example of a grafted plant. Not every mango tree I'm telling. There are some mango trees which are grafted. Okay, two varieties of mango. For example, two varieties of mango grows in a particular mango tree itself. Okay, then you have the process called cutting. For example, rose. In the rose flower or the rose plant, you are cutting because you cut the stem of the plant. You are cutting the stem of the plant and making it grow like another plant. You are cultivating another plant by cutting stem cutting. Okay, then you have layering method. Layering, that is jasmine is an example for layering. Is it clear, everyone? Are you all getting my points, or is there any issue with anybody? The chat box was remaining silent all through. All of you give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up on the chat. Everyone give me a thumbs up on the screen. Okay, thanks you everyone. Next we have tissue culture method. Tissue culture method. Okay, next one, tissue culture method. New plants are grown by using the growing tip of a plant. Growing tip of a plant you might have seen, for example, in hibiscus. In case of hibiscus, the one of the branches is cut, right? One of the growing branches is cut and it is kept in the potted in order to grow new plants. Am I right? In case of hibiscus and certain other plants also you can see. And from this you can see that certain leaf arises and finally leads to the formation of flowers also. Is it? Layering is actually a method. You check this soil. Okay, since I'm drawing with the mouse of the PC, it's getting like this. So please forgive if there is any wrong in the drawing. Okay. So suppose this is the one jasmine plant that I have planted. Suppose I'll take your example only. Okay. I wanted to make a garden. So instead of buying so many trees, suppose, okay, I'll explain tissue culture once again. Suppose me and me and Pallav are going to start a jasmine garden. Jasmine garden. Okay. Me and Pallav are going to start a jasmine garden. What I did was, I just took many plants of jasmine. I just took many varieties of jasmine. That is only a single variety. I took many. I buy it from a flower shop, or I buy 100 different jasmine plants. Saplings of jasmine plants I bought. 100 different saplings of jasmine plant I bought. Whereas Palav bought only 2 or 3 jasmine plants. And what does he did was, he just potted or he just planted them at regular intervals like this. He just planted it like this. What I did was, I bought these much of garden, these much of saplings for jasmine, and planted all over there in my garden, so that I could get different 100 saplings, right? 100 different jasmine plants. But what he did was, this jasmine, suppose this plant is growing, and what happens is that one of the branches just curve and touches over here, and from that branch also another root will develop, and it will develop into a new plant. Okay, from here also another plant will develop, and one of the branches that touches the ground, there you can see another jasmine plant growing. So you might have experienced whenever you are pulling out of a jasmine plant from the soil, you can see that if you pull one plant, you can see all the plants following that area will come up along from the soil. Is it? Yes, that is a method for layering, because all these plants are interconnected like this. Look, all these plants are interconnected. All these plants are interconnected. So that is the method for layering. Yes. Next one, somebody have asked me to explain tissue culture once again. Tissue culture means the growing tip of a plant is cultivated. You don't have detail about this tissue culture, because tissue culture is mainly done in the laboratory. When you enter into your class 11th and 12th, that is +1 and +2, there may be different varieties of mango tree. If I say I know only the name of the mango tree in my local language, okay, okay. If I tell you the name of that local mango tree, it may be not possible for you to understand the name, because it may be in my local language, that is Malayalam. Am I right? So there may be different varieties for a mango tree. So when you're entering your class 11th and 12th, in some of your schools, if there is good facility for a biology lab, they might give you a tissue culture experiment. They might give you a tissue culture experiment. How many of your schools have well established biology lab? Well established biology lab for class 11th and 12th. How many of your schools have such a well established laboratory for biology? Have anyone seen the biology lab in your school? Yes. There you can, whatever concept we did today, you will be able to do all those things in your class 11 and 12. Why only chemistry lab in your school? Is there +1 and +2, Abhijit, in that area in your school in which you are studying? Yes. So most of the experiments regarding the cell division, you may be able to. So in the upcoming classes 11 and 12, you may be giving the experiments regarding you can see the bacteria, live bacteria through the microscope. You can experience the visibility of an RBC, WBC and platelets from the blood taken from your own body. They will be giving you a pin, a small safety pin, and they will be asking you to what? Stuck it onto the tip of your middle finger of your left hand, and they will be asking you to pour a drop of blood on the slide, and will be asking you to put a stain and observe your own red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets under the microscope. Really fascinating experience you are going to experience in your 11th and 12th standard. Those who wish to join, those who are keenly interested in biology, can take up microbiology after your 12th standard. That's an absolutely good area where you can observe different things regarding viruses, bacteria, etc. like that. So even though I explain about this tissue culture now, you will not get about all the concept of tissue culture, because it is a higher level concept. So the growing cells, the cells from the plants. In your ninth standard, you might have studied about the permanent cells and meristematic tissue, certain tissues like this, right? Meristematic tissue, permanent tissue that have lost the capacity to division, like that you have studied. Meristematic tissue, permanent tissue, right? So they are taking certain type of cells. The meristem means actively dividing cell, right? Meristem means actively dividing cells that divides continuously throughout the life. So the examiner or the planter may be taking certain cells from the meristematic region and he or she will be cultivating it in a culture medium, that is in a nutrient rich medium. Plants need certain nutrients such as calcium, phosphorus, like that, nutrient rich medium, leading to the formation of callus. Okay, I will share, if I have, let me check, if I have the picture of callus, I will share it in our Telegram group so that you may able to understand what is callus now only. Okay, from a Telegram group itself, I'll share today itself. Okay, for example, certain ornamental plants and orchids are all made by the method of tissue culture. Yesterday also we studied up to here, right? Next is, what are the benefits of tissue culture? We can grow certain plants like banana, rose, jasmine, etc. that they have the capacity to produce seeds. Will banana plant? Yes, I told you I will share the image of callus in the Telegram group, because even though I explain about the higher parts of callus also, you won't be able to understand even the concept. So instead of making you confused about everything, I'm trying to impart with you all the things that you could digest easily. I will explain the concept of callus in the next class also, after sharing the image of the callus, if I have in the Telegram group, or else I'll show it in the class itself. So banana, rose and jasmine. Have you heard about a banana plant or a rose plant or a jasmine producing seeds? No, never. Why? Because they are propagated differently by vegetative propagation, right? So with the help of tissue culture, we can make them able to produce seeds. But the thing is that new plants are genetically similar to their parents. If the parent plant is dwarf, we can see that the offspring, if 100 offsprings are formed also, it will have the same height of the parent plant only. Okay, that is the method of tissue culture. It helps in growing seedless fruits also. You might have heard about seedless apple, all these things. You might have seen about grapes and apples, seedless apple and seedless grain. All these are examples for what? Tissue culture. Next is spore formation. Guys, can I start with the concept of spore formation now? Can I start with spore formation on the chat box fast? Okay, thank you. So, spore formation. How many of you have seen this particular organism, Rhizopus? If you have seen, tell me the place where you have seen. If you have don't observe this organism anywhere, tell me on the chat box, or I haven't observed the organism, so that I could share the image of that live organism, Rhizopus. Have anybody observed where you have observed Rhizopus? Tell me. Let me check whether you have a concept building or not. Tell me which place have you seen? Yes, so okay, don't worry, you haven't seen. But after I tell you the place where you have seen it, after the place where I tell you where you have seen all these things or where this organism occurs, you everyone have seen this organism. What about others? Anushka Srivastava, are you in the class? Shilpa, have you seen the organism Rhizopus? Kriti? Yes, it is a fungi. Okay. You remember at least that. What about others? So I am telling, suppose a food item, this is occurring in a food item. Anybody seen now? The black spots that occur in bread. The black spots that occur in bread. Yes, everyone. We see that after the expiry date, you can see these organisms in the bread and everything. Most expectedly, you can see it in the bread. Yes, the bread mold is the rhizopus. The bread mold is the rhizopus. You can see that small black spots on the bread. And what some of you may do is that actually you have to see this much part it is occupied by this organism. Actually, in your class 11th and 12, class 11 and 12, you will be giving a sample of bread and they may be asking you to observe the rhizopus organism inside that. So you can observe that organism will be like this. This is the actual structure of rhizopus or the small spots that you observe inside the bread. Some of you, what they will do is that they will cut this much part and they will start eating. They will start eating from this part. But please don't never do that. Please never ever do that. If something in any or in any food item, if you see the bread mold or any type of fungus growing, you have to leave that food completely, even if it is a fresh packet that you bought from the supermarket the previous day also. Why? Because this bread mold appears like these spots within your naked eye, but you might know that they have their roots like this. This plant, look, this plant may be exhibiting, or this is not a plant, this organism or this fungi may be exhibiting the parts like this, and the roots will also be growing. So in the naked eye you will observe like spots. Okay, some spores on the bread you will observe. So spores are released by this rhizopus during favorable condition. Till it become favorable condition, they are covered by thick walls, and when it becomes favorable, they releases the spores and produces a new organism. Can I move with the next topic? Next topic, all about new topic. Can I move with the next topic, everyone? All about the new topic. Whether it is to be bread, sandwich, or whatever. Yes. So this is a new topic, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Which topic? Which topic? Lord Faizu, which topic you need again? About the last topic about the bread mold, spore formation you need? Is it spore formation? Okay, I'll explain once again. Listen, everyone. Okay. Spore formation is like that. Okay, what we seen in the bread mold. What are spores? Spores are small bulb-like structures. Look, these are small bulb-like structures. Bulb-like structures. When the condition become favorable, so inside this you can see large number of spores are there. When the conditions are unfavorable, these spores are covered by a thick wall. These are the spores. The spores are covered by a thick wall. The spores are covered by a thick wall. Under favorable condition, these spores releases. So the rhizopus or the bread mold releases the spores. They germinate and produce a new organism. Germinate and produce a new organism. For example, in rhizopus. Okay, everyone? Okay. What photo? What mystery gaming? What's going on? I have the chat with me. What photo or something you were talking about? Photo or something like that. Yes, what's happening in the class? Listen to the class. Next topic is sexual reproduction. So we have completed all the aspects of asexual reproduction, the type of asexual reproduction, everything like that. Okay. Now we are going to talk about what? sexual reproduction. So already we told that sexual reproduction needs two parents. Then that is one male parent is required and another female parent is required. Then gametes may or may not be formed. Gametes are always formed in case of sexual reproduction. Variations are possible in case of sexual reproduction. All these points we have studied. So, when reproduction takes place as a fusion of male and female gamete, so this term fusion is referred to as the fertilization. What is fertilization? Fusion of male and female gamete is referred to as fertilization, and that is a process which result in variation. Are you all getting me? Are you all getting me? Okay. So the fusion of male and female gamete result in the sexual reproduction, and that is the process which contributes towards variation. Yes, zygote, exactly, zygote. The product after the male fusion of male and female gamete. Guys, what do you mean by gametes? What are gametes? What are gametes? Gametes are what? What are gametes? Gametes are sex cells. Gametes are sex cells. Okay. Yes, they are haploid sex cells. Haploid means N. Abhijit, are you here? Abhijit? Abhijit, I cannot see any of your messages. What happened? Abhijit, are you here? Okay. So first we have two set of divisions over here. That is why not replying anything, Abhijit, keeping silent. Sexual reproduction, we have to study about two different topics. That is sexual reproduction in plants and sexual reproduction in animals. Sexual reproduction in plants and sexual reproduction in animals. So first, so you have about the basic concept, then the type of flowers, process or seed formation, germination. Four more slides to complete the sexual reproduction in flowers. After that, you will move in detail with the reproduction in animals. Okay. So first, since the sexual reproduction in plants, flowers are the major reproductive organs of the plant. Please mark this point or take down anywhere. Very important. You may expect this question for the upcoming Menti quiz. Flowers are the reproductive organ. Flowers are the reproductive organ of plants. A typical flowering plant consists of how many walls? Four main walls. Walls means parts. That is sepal, petals, stamen and pistil. Sepals, petals, stamen and pistil are the different walls of a flower. No, we are do not having a Menti quiz today. In the upcoming Menti, I will try. In the next class, I will include the Menti quiz. Next class. Tomorrow, I'll include the Menti quiz. Perfect. Tomorrow, we'll include the Menti quiz. Okay. So, four different parts. This is very important. Sepals, petals, stamens, and pistil. Yes, gametes helps in the beginning of the process of fertilization. There are two type of flowers. Guys, male reproductive part is there, female reproductive part is there. Okay. Look, if you take a plant, this green covering, the green covering which you see that covers the bud, during when the flower is bud, you see that the flower is enclosed by a green covering called sepals. Have everyone seen the sepals? The green colored substance or the green colored covering seen in case of certain plants. Everyone seen green colored part. Look, the green colored covering the rose. I have sent I have sent. I don't have any other options to show you. Yes, that covers the bud. I have seen you the pic of, not a pic, an emoji of a rose plant on the chat box. Those who are taking the chat box may see it right now. So that green colored part that covers the bud or the flower during its bud stage is called sepal. The beautiful colored part of a plant is known as petal. What are petals? Petals are the different colored parts of a plant. Yellow colored rose, green colored rose are there in Ooty and Kodaikanal. You can see green colored rose exactly looking like the shape of a leaf. Then you have white rose, pink, magenta, purple, all these kinds of rose you can see. For even for orchid, everything you might see. Okay, so the colored part of the flower you call it as the petal. Look, the colored part of a flower. Look, the rose flower that in the chat box is having a, yes, the red color, the rose color, the pink color, everything is having the color. The color is given by what? Petal. Petals are the walls of a flower that gives color. So petals and sepals you call it as the non-essential walls. So it is not necessary that a plant requires it or not. Non-essential walls of a flower. Walls means non-essential parts of a plant. Non-essential parts of a flower. Okay. Sepals and petals are non-essential parts of a flower. Then, coming into the case of pistil. Pistil is the female reproductive part of a flower. Clear? Female reproductive part of a flower is the pistil. Stamen is the male reproductive part. Moreover, you can see the male reproductive part together you call it as the androecium. Androecium is the male reproductive part, and the female reproductive part you call it as the gynoecium. Yes, they are known as the accessory walls of a flower. Guys, you have to understand that sepals, one green colored part is known as sepals. The sepals are together known as calyx. The green colored portion, sepals are together known as calyx. The sepals are together known as calyx. The sepals are together known as calyx. And the petals are together known as corolla. Not corona, corolla. Okay? Corolla. The individual unit of calyx, you call it as a sepal. The individual unit of corolla, you call it as the petal. Then the individual unit of androecium, you call it as stamen. You call it as the stamen. And the individual unit of gynoecium, you call it as the pistil. Clear? Not corona, it is corolla. Corolla. Okay? Corolla. So, four main walls parts of a flower is androecium, gynoecium, calyx, and corolla. The individual unit of calyx, the individual units of calyx is known as individual unit. Take down all these things. Individual unit of calyx is sepals. Individual unit of corolla is petal. Individual unit of androecium is stamen, and individual unit of gynoecium is pistil. The stamen consists mainly of two different parts. The stamens mainly consist of two different parts, that is anther and filament. Stamen is the male reproductive part of a flower. Is the problem? Is my audio lagging for everyone? Is my audio lagging for everyone? Is my audio lagging for everyone? Okay. Okay. Then it might be a network issue from my side. Who is this MJ? MJ? Who is this MJ? Tell me your Telegram ID, MJ. Okay. Then pistil. Pistil is the female reproductive part of a flower. It consists of parts such as stigma, style, and ovary. Stick of pistil. Guys, tell me what are the green colored parts, green wall of a flower that covers the flower during its bud stage. Name the green colored part of a flower that covers the flower during its bud stage. On the chat box. Yes, Kriti, it is sepals. Sepals together is known as, sepals are together known as. There are three sepals on the diagram. The sepals are together known as. The sepals are together known as. Yes, it is sepal. The green bud is the sepal. The sepals are together known as. Sepals are together known as. Yes, exactly. It is calyx. Sepals are together known as calyx. Sepals are together known as calyx. Oh. Guys, please try to rejoin once again. Please try to join once again. Okay. The colored part of the flower is known as corolla. The individual unit are known as petals. The male part is known as anther and filament. Stamen together known as anthecium, pistil, stigma, style, and ovary. Next is the different kinds of flower. Sorry. We have two kinds of flower. Please try to refresh your page or reload the page and enter. Please try to refresh. Please try to refresh and relog in into the page fast. Refresh page. Okay. So there are different mainly two type of flowers. That is bisexual flower. Bi means two, right? Unisexual flower. Unisexual means one. Bisexual flower means both male and female reproductive part are present in the same organ, or not the same organ, same plant. Both the male and the female reproductive parts are present on the same plant. Unisexual means either the male or the female part may only be present. Either the plant be male or the plant be female, or the flower male or it be female. Comment me first on the box whether this flower that is shown on this diagram, okay, whether it is unisexual or bisexual. Tell me on the chat box. Oh, since everybody is complaining, I would. Okay, so have certain things to study in the class. Okay, everyone. Thank you for the wonderful cooperation from your side. Okay, thank you for the wonderful cooperation. Okay, thank you for the wonderful cooperation. Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So today we'll be not having another class. Okay, we will not be having another class. This will be our last class. Study well. Study good. Keep good, everyone. Keep proper. So from these models, we selected Kriti will be the next class monster front. Kriti will be the class monster marks right from 2 onwards. Congrats, Kriti, for being the class monitor. The second time also without action studies pop up the student became good. One.